Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a story about my two fathers. My poor dad was a school teacher, very smart man. And my rich dad never went to school. And so the information, so starting at the age of 9, growing up in Hawaii, the information was different, the advice was different. So I think most of your viewers out there sitting inside their head are the words from their mother and father. Go to school, get a job, pay taxes, save money, buy a house because it's an asset, get out of debt, and invest in the stock market. That creates poor people. It's a hypnosis train going through your brain. So when people say, how do I change my life? Well, you change those words. I wouldn't go to school because you learn nothing about money in school. I wouldn't get a job because if I have a job, I'm an employee. And then I'd pay taxes. And I don't pay taxes. And I don't save money. And I use debt to get rich. And I don't invest in the stock market. That's why I'm rich. So when I was a little boy, I had poor dad and rich dad, saying, he's saying, go to school. My rich dad goes, what a waste of time that is, And the way my rich dad taught me is just playing Monopoly. 4 greenhouses, 1 red hotel. I learned about money. I learned to be a capitalist, not an employee. I don't pay taxes. I use debt for money. And I don't invest in the stock market. And when I say that to adults, they get angry at me. So, well, that's what I've done. I said, well, that's why you're poor. But when I said to young people, you have a chance yet. You have a chance. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying question the hypnotic trance put in your head, because that's what keeps people poor. The economy doesn't exist out here. The economy exists in here. And until you change the words become flesh. If you get a job, you're an employee. If you save money, you're a saver. And why would you save money when they're printing money? And they say invest in the stock market for your pension. Well, why would you do that? Because that's how they get your money. And get out of debt when guys like me are using debt as money. So question it, that's all I'm saying. And my rich dad said, what are you going to learn in school about money? I mean, you can learn to be a doctor or a lawyer, but you learn nothing about money. Most people should be employees, because most people, it's easier to be an employee. Like when I flew for the Marine Corps in Vietnam, and my poor dad wanted me to become an airline pilot. He says, go fly for the airlines. And I said, no, I can do that. I can already fly. Why would I fly for the rest of my life? He said, but you love flying. I said, yeah, but I don't want to fly for the rest of my life. I just wanted a bigger challenge. And a bigger challenge would be to be an entrepreneur, because I'd have to learn new things. I'd have to learn 10 times more than ever than being a pilot. So for me, it was right for me to become an entrepreneur, because I was really interested in learning about money and business and economics and all this. But most employees aren't. So for most people who are employees, they should get a job, work hard, save money, pay your taxes. But entrepreneurs don't pay taxes. We don't save money. We use debt as money. And everything's different. And I don't invest in the stock market. But I had to pay the price, which was get my own education, not the stuff they teach you in school. But many people today don't have that choice. If you lose your job, like my poor dad eventually lost his job. And then he realized going to school, getting a job didn't help him. He had a PhD. He didn't have the skills for the world. He stepped out of the academic world and onto the streets. The cats ate him alive out there. Most school teachers cannot survive in the real world. Not in my world, at least, because they don't have the mental strength, spiritual strength, emotional strength, or the education to sustain the battles of being an entrepreneur. I have international businesses, thousands of employees. A school teacher, they don't have that. They don't want that. Our schools teach us to be ICs, independent contractor, or self-employed, or even if you're an employee, you're still an independent contractor who has a job. And you do it by yourself. I think I think much of the young world is in the selfie world. You know, look at me, look at me. Whereas in my world, it's a team sport. So the first person I have is a bookkeeper. Bookkeeper is the lowest paid person on my team, but the most important. The bookkeeper then keeps the accurate records that my accountant can use, and my attorney can use, and my banker can use. That's the combination there. And my banker, my attorney, and my accountant must work together as a team. Most people, their bankers, accountants, and attorneys don't work together as teams, because in school we're taught to take our tests on our own. If you ask for help, you're cheating. In my world, it's called cooperation. And what I found with most smart people, they don't know how to cooperate. They don't know how to ask for help, because in their brains, that's cheating. It means you're stupid. It means you're weak. If you don't know accounting, you don't have accountability. I never use my money. I don't need to save money. I use debt 100% of the time, and I don't pay taxes. Money is cheap right now, zero. Get it free. Why would you save it? Why would you save it when they print it? So right now, if I was a young person, I'd be taking probably a stock options course to trade the market coming down, because you'll get rich faster that way. It takes about 5 years to practice that. But I love crashes. You know, I get really excited about a crash. Unfortunately, most people get wiped out. But nonetheless, the facts are crashes make the rich richer. And my rich dad said, you have to learn about debt and taxes. So I took a real estate course. I say the same thing. Take real estate courses, take stock trading courses, you know. I take bond courses. I just learn about the game of money. It's a game. But you have to make mistakes to learn. But our schools punish you for making mistakes. And then they also punish you for asking for help, because that's called cheating. I call it cooperation. So everything is opposite from school. You know, entrepreneurs are not going to make good employees. Well, you got to change, go to school, get a job, save money, pay taxes. I'm making money as we're speaking right now. I have 7,000 real estate properties. I have oil wells. I have golf courses. I have commercial buildings. So money's just pouring in whether I work or not. But I'm still studying, because that's how the money keeps pouring in.